Welcome everybody to the Chaos Multiverse in the final episode breakdown recap of What If. Season 1 is in the books, and I think it's safe to say it was super entertaining from the beginning to the end. This was a completely different take on the MCU, and I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to see where Season 2 goes, especially with the ending to Season 1, and if we do get any of those rumored live adaptation crossovers. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Do me a favor, make sure you're subscribed with those notifications fully turned on. We will be covering the Hawkeye series just like we did What If. We will do an episode breakdown every single week. Jimmy or Chaos, welcome to the Chaos Multiverse. Let's just jump into this, and we're going to bullet point it and kind of go through step by step. So we open up with a similar scene to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We've got Peggy Carter and Black Widow heading for the Lumerian Star. Now, Lumeria is the name of the underwater city where Atlanteans live. Captain Carter has a new suit on, the stealth suit, similar to Steve's stealth suit, if you will, and she jumps down onto the ship and takes out the soldiers. And while Batroc and Peggy fight before the Watcher appears, then he appears and takes Peggy and says that he chooses her for this team that he's putting together. But all that was super similar to what we've already seen with Captain America. We then cut to the Dairy Queen from episode 2, where Peter Quill is being used by Ego the Planet to expand across the universe. T'Challa, Star-Lord T'Challa now, appears and rescues Quill. The Watcher then appears there and chooses T'Challa. You guys can see where this is going. He is handpicking his heroes. We then cut to Niv from Infinity War, where we see Gamora wearing Thanos armor, and Iron Man is in a Hulkbuster suit, but it's like a Sakaar trash Hulkbuster suit. I don't know what we would call, we could call him a trash buster, I guess, if you wanted to. The point is, he's got a Hulkbuster suit on, and we get to see Iron Man, right? So that's a good thing. And this was intended to be the 10th episode of What If, where Gamora and Iron Man fought on Sakaar, and Tony built this Hulkbuster trash buster armor from scrap, but because of COVID and time constraints, it didn't happen. Maybe we'll see more in Season 2. The Watcher appears and calls Gamora the survivor of Sakaar and destroyer of Thanos. So we could have seen Sakaar being attacked by Thanos, so Gamora had to team up with Tony, where Thanos would eventually be killed. And if that's the case, maybe we won't see it in Season 2. Then the Watcher chooses Gamora. We cut to Wakanda from episode 6, where Shuri and Pepper try and take back the throne from Killmonger, and the Watcher chooses Eric. Yeah, chooses Killmonger before Pepper and Shuri arrive in the throne room. We then see Party Thor taking down Ultron drones from episode 7, and yes, the Watcher appears and chooses Thor to join his team. Now, this chosen team appears in a pub where Strange Supreme tells the team that it's a replica of one where Peggy and Steve used to spend time together. That pub probably looks pretty familiar to everybody. Then the Watcher appears and tells them they've been chosen to fight against Infinite Ultron and save the multiverse. They are now officially called the Guardians of the Multiverse. The Watcher explains who Ultron is, and Strange shows us the Infinity Stones, and it's very reminiscent of how they explain the stones, or how Wong explained the stones in Infinity War. So many mirrors and shadows and callbacks. It's awesome. The team makes a plan to separate the stones from Ultron and then destroy them, and Gamora shows the Infinity Crusher, which could destroy the Infinity Stones, or at least grind them up into a small enough powder to where they couldn't be used. Uatu then sends them to an empty planet, and Strange starts using spells to help them with their fight. And it's a planet where there's not really any activity or life going on, so Ultron really wouldn't have deemed this planet one that he had to sack, but obviously once they start showing activity, he's going to know they're there. Captain Carter asks Strange if he knows about her, and he explains that Steve got the serum in his universe, just like in the original MCU. Thor then ends up getting too excited, blasts lightning to attract Ultron, and Infinity Ultron appears. And Strange uses a spell to protect the team, and each one of them now has their own mystic armor. Peggy with knight armor, Thor with Viking armor, Star-Lord has like a king-like armor. They all have armor that kind of represents their culture, their world, where they came from, if you will. So then Thor fires lightning at Ultron, screaming "Viva Las Vegas," but Ultron absorbs it with no problem and uses the stones to destroy the mountain the Guardians are standing on. He goes to leave, commenting on how easy winning the battle was, but then he realizes that the Guardians are still alive. Thor throws Mjolnir, and Strange duplicates it, and T'Challa and Star-Lord work together to take the Soul Stone. We get these combo Avenger moves, these combo superhero moves, which we've seen. We saw them in Infinity War, we saw them in Endgame, and it's fun to see the different mix and matches. It's like a Tekken tag team, if you will. Strange then creates 3 dragons from his body to send a blast at Ultron, and Ultron is about to create more drones, but he realizes that one of the stones is missing. Strange opens up a portal and releases the zombies from episode 5. They're more of a distraction than anything, but there is one zombie that's super important. The Guardians escape and Ultron destroys the zombies, but then he comes face to face with zombie Wanda, or zombie Scarlet Witch, who is super powerful. The team arrives in Ultron's original reality, and they meet Natasha, who survived Ultron and arrives and attempts to take the stone, but his arm is severed by Mjolnir. So then Ultron attempts to destroy the entire galaxy, but Strange absorbs that explosion completely. It shows you how strong Strange Supreme is. It really, really does. The Guardians and Ultron fight back and forth over the Soul Stone, with Captain Carter and Widow once again using their shields together. The Avenger tag team combos, if you will. Ultron then uses the Time Stone to slow time down in order for him to get the Soul Stone back. But Strange grabs him with his tentacles and uses his own Time Stone, which he's had the whole time, so he doesn't get affected by Ultron's Time Stone. It gets really complicated here. Ultron then grows huge, but Strange uses his full power to shrink him back to normal size. And once again, we see like the full incarnation of Dark Strange, Strange Supreme. He's up there. So then the team pins Ultron to the ground as Gamora tries to destroy the stones, and a huge explosion happens. They fail. And then Gamora realizes that the Crusher destroyed the stones in her world, but can't destroy the stones in every reality. So Ultron gets all the stones back and uses his full power once again against the team, and that is where we enter Arnim Zola. Natasha finds Arnim Zola the arrow with Arnim Zola in it from Clint, and asks Peggy to help her fire the arrow at Ultron. So Natasha grabs Clint's bow, drives her motorcycle to get a clear shot. Peggy pulls Ultron's helmet off just in time for the arrow to hit him in the eyeball, and the Zola AI is uploaded to Ultron's body. We then see inside the Ultron body where Arnim Zola and Ultron are actually talking to each other and fighting. It was actually a really, really cool sequence if you ask me. And Zola takes over the body and the Ultron body falls to the ground. Then enters Killmonger. He comes over and he uses the Ultron head he found to retrieve Ultron's armor with the Infinity Stones. Eric then says with the stones, they could fix all of their universes. Once again, he's like an anti-hero to a degree because he has good intentions at times. He just goes about it right. They can protect their homes, they can bring back the lost loved ones like Steve and Christine, and Killmonger attempts to use those stones against the team, but Arnim, now in Vision's body, is trying to take back the stones for his own uses. Killmonger and Zola trap themselves in a stalemate as Strange traps the two in a pocket universe. Then the Watcher brings Strange back to his own reality, and Strange tells him to watch over the pocket reality to make sure that Arnim, Zola, and Killmonger don't escape. And the Watcher, he sends all the team members of the Guardians of the Multiverse back to their own realities. But Captain Carter stops, and she asks if she can return to another time because her world was decimated, and she wants to return with Steve. The Watcher tells her that the world needs her. Natasha from episode 8 is left behind as she shouts at the Watcher for not interfering and letting her friends die. So the Watcher tells Nat he can't fix her world, but he'll send her to the helicarrier where we see Captain Marvel and Captain America from episode 3. He then tells her she can help them fight Loki, who had taken over the Earth in that timeline, and Nick Fury acknowledges that Nat is not the one from his reality, but is the one he needs to fight back against Loki. So she has a purpose, once again. So we end it with Strange basically becoming a Watcher of the Pocket Universe himself, and the Watcher stating that he's going to protect, not just watch. He shows us all the stories that we've had in Season 1, they're all closed off, and then we get to the end credit scene. Peggy's on the ship once again, and she has Natasha from her reality showing Peggy something she found. Peggy looks into a storage container with the Hydra Stomper, as Natasha reveals that someone is still inside. But it's not your normal Hydra Stomper. It's not the one we saw in the very beginning, the vintage, if you will, World War II version. This one is much more modern, much more sleek. It is definitely a newer version. So the question is Steve in there? And we'll probably find out in Season 2. And he is still alive. He's probably in that suit. Looks like in every reality, Steve and Peggy split up. They live in different times. but they eventually loop back together. And that's where we end it, my friends. What a ride. What an absolute ride. Easter eggs, payoffs, fan service. Just awesome, awesome. I can't wait for season 2. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you soon.